well, I just decided that I would come on and do a very quick live. Didn't let anybody know. I apologise. I'm a bit spontaneous at the moment. Life is a bit all up in the air and topsy-turvy at the moment. So I just am just jumping on and grabbing whatever I can at the moment. So I hope you're all doing well. So I hadn't covered the 2 lots of correspondence that had occurred in the KJ 7M matter, and I really didn't because it wasn't really that exciting in my opinion. However, it has sort of changed now because, hello Christine, because there's been a sort of a response. So let's have a look at where we are at the moment. Let's look at the letters and we'll look at what's going on. Hello, Peter. How are you without a lawyer? So we've still got the pre-trial hearing on the 27th of the 3rd. There was last week some correspondence and then notice of judicial things. So we've got the letters here. So Amber Stavic, the lawyer for 7M, wrote to the court, "Hi Tracy," and said, "Dear the Honourable Michelle A. Davis, I'm writing this letter to request a telephone conference regarding adherence to the scheduling order, pending decisions from the court on the motions from the 21st of November. I've reached out to opposing counsel and they have informed that they are unable to adhere to the current dates in the scheduling order." So if you remember, the scheduling order had that, if you're going to have a pre-trial hearing on the 27th of March, you've got to have all your depositions and everything in. Now, if the judge is taking 90 days to make her decision, well, we're going to have a bit of a crossover. So I think it's quite reasonable for them to say, hey, we've got a problem here. However, this was what I found to be very interesting. I am writing in response to plaintiff's request for a telephone conference. Ms. Stavic's letter misrepresents our position with respect to the scheduling order. After a conversation about an unrelated matter, Ms. Stavic approached me to discuss the designation of a qualified neutral as required by the scheduling order. I asked Ms. Stavic who she would propose. She identified the Honourable John W. Borg. I consented and informed Ms. Stavic she could consent to Mr. Borg. My comments thereafter were about the practical implications of the pending motions, which the court has already indicated that it will consider. Plaintiff's motion to amend the scheduling order is presently before the court. I object to the plaintiff's request insofar as it amounts to a request for supplemental argument. Now, the judge has come back and said, please schedule a Zoom conference for 2 p.m. So the judge has said, well, yes, it's going to be a problem. Now, there's 2 ways we can look at this. Maybe the judge is still trying to make her decision, work out what she's going to do. And because don't forget, so if for example, if the motion for summary dismissal fails, then everything's back on schedule. So there is no way they're going to have everything turned around in 4 weeks for a court date without it costing a huge amount of money, because those, the lawyers would be just having to dedicate themselves to it 24/7. Oh, she's still talking about them, Christine says. Yeah, I saw something the other day about it. I just find it absolutely baffling that, she still thinks it's okay to talk about them. So, yeah, she's still talking about, I noticed that she's really going hard on the sister wives at the moment. Potentially there could be another lawsuit there. Well, having the conference is going to cost. That's right, it is going to cost. But you have to, I guess, also be aware that what 7M's lawyers were pointing out was quite reasonable, that you cannot adhere to the schedule. It has to be amended because it's waiting for the pending decision. if they wait for the pending decision, everything else is going to get even further delayed and messed up. And it's going to make things more and more complicated. We're trying to deal with it early on is actually going to, and putting something in place is actually going to be very helpful. So, yeah, I really don't know what planet these lawyers are on, because I know courts like it when law firms cooperate with each other and, talk to each other, and, they don't want them singing Kumbaya together, but remember, you're a representation of the court. So, look, 7M can say, look, KJ's out in a safe house in another one of her stories, so why should we give her any? Well, and that is a very fair point, Will. That's a very fair point. And that was one of their arguments, that she can't keep her mouth shut, that she outs. Like there's, oh, gee whiz, I've just seen another story. Let's have a look at this one. Oh, no. She's not really. So this is one of her. She even posted their taxes without any redaction. Yeah. If you have been or currently a victim of a crime in LA County related to involvement with Shekinah Church, make sure you report with LA Crime Stoppers. Law enforcement is aware, and the more reports made, the better the case can. Oh, no. Seriously, this is sickening, in my opinion. She's going hard at them. She's going hard at everybody. And I just... all of this is going to all of this plays into their hands for wanting everything private and confidential. Christine, she is really pushing the envelope, in my opinion. She's really pushing it. Really, really pushing it. But that's just my opinion. She does need a gag order. Now, I'm not saying that 7M or that they're innocent in all this. Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying that at all. But remember, at this stage, there has been no crime reported and no crime committed. Everybody, this is a post from Robert Shin's son. Have a look at this. I'd like to publicly disavow any association with Katie Joy, aka Without a Crystal Ball. Her lawsuit with my father means she has no pure motives in reposting public posts, and I cannot take back any death threats from any of her crazy followers that may be inflicted upon two people that I have explicitly cited in name. The possibility of death threats and internet stalking is very real for those two individuals, and it's not my fault that people who take pleasure in doxing and harassing people online have decided to repost and inflict harms upon friend and foes alike. I shouldn't drop names. I shouldn't drop names at this point, but those two individuals who know who they are at this point. The possibility of death threats and internet stalking is real. Is very real for those two individuals. It's not my fault that people who take pleasure in doxing that. Oh, sorry. I do not wish death upon the person who called me a straight white male to disparage me despite all elements of designation, with the exception of being a biological male being completely untrue. Nor do I wish to see any harm befell someone who has spent the last 10 years defaming my good name. Both are very real possibilities, and for this reason, I publicly disavow Katie Joy. That's the Sun. Remember, she posted his she posted his post, and it was saying about how the Sun was at so she's been disavowed. She's been disavowed in person. People are, but yeah, she doesn't need a gag order. Hello, Bella. How are you? So, yeah, I really hope Eminem goes after. Look, I think. Hey, Terry, you can report and you can disparage. And the thing is, a reporter, it is a job of a reporter to report facts. Now, if she's an opinion columnist, then she needs to put opinion column on there. That's why if you go look in a paper, have opinion. This is an opinion piece, or they say it is my opinion. Oh. My study's going good. So I am having surgery tomorrow. So I'm having surgery tomorrow. I'll be in hospital for 2 days. I don't know how long. I got an extension on my assignment, which is good. In fact, I'm being picked up at 2:30 today because I'm staying somewhere closer to the hospital. I know I'm in the city, but I'm only going to be 10 minutes away rather than half an hour away, so I can sleep in the morning. Anyway, so look, this is another post. So she gets disavowed and says to me that some of the cooperators want to control the narrative and control what people learn about the case. I've received screenshots of harassing messages sent to people liking or commenting. Please save the messages in the event a police report needs to be made. Uh-oh, we're back to this again. We're so predictable. You're so predictable in every way. Hey. Yeah, I'm good, Bella. Oh, in fact, I will be good after surgery. Don't worry about it. Yeah. Yeah, I'll be good after surgery. If it all goes well, it should go well. Right. So it says, please save the messages in the event a police report needs to be made. So we're already starting this narrative. Also, block and do not be intimidated from learning the facts of the case. If you are receiving harassing messages from any witness or cooperators involved in Samuel Bateman's federal investigation, do not hesitate to contact the FBI. So she's telling people to contact law enforcement. Cooperators involved in the investigation have been contacting people that like my posts and are harassing them to stop following the lies I post. Jesus. And then, of course, there's the disavowalment. So it's funny that at the time that that's posted, is now posting that her followers are getting harassed. Funny that, isn't it? I don't know. Don't know. So I just, I mean, she's accused Robin of having, because she had a cold sore, of having herpes and spreading herpes. Even. I mean, Robin from Sister Wives. I just find it bizarre. Like, yes, we've all. Look, here is some of the comments from her people, which, by the way, have been deleted. I think you've gone a bit far in this one. You'd never know who gave what to who. The virus stays dormant for years. She could have got it from her ex or through childhood itself. I say stick to the main story. This comes off as mean girl. This is just bullying. People can have their opinions, but that's all it is. Opinions. Exactly, Christine. Nobody knows what goes on in the family. I doubt Christine and Janelle have been totally innocent. Leave this woman alone. Majority of the population have the herpes virus. So genital and oral herpes are two different simplexes. Some people are dormant and others break out. Stop with the hatred. Shame on you for this post. You are bullying her and everyone gets cold sores. This is extremely tasteless. Hello, plan to create. Use your platform to report reality gossip and not make fun of people. I expected better from you. Janelle had a bout of skin cancer, not herpes or anything else. I'm sorry, but the stigmatization and borderline shaming of a virus is really cruel. Herpes is not a big deal and should not be a scarlet letter. 80 to 90% of the world has either HSV1 or HVS2. Some people present symptoms and some people still carry it. I usually always like your content, but this feels wrong with me. No wonder she's deleting the comments. You're reaching, assuming she had this first and not Cody. Also, this might get some attention if Cody had any other current wives. I'm sorry, but I think it's time I unfollow you. You used to share information, but now it's just bullying. Look, I think that because well, he's also suing some other creators as well. So, for saying other things. And yeah, I think they've come this far. I think they've come this far. Why would they stop now? I just want to show you. So Helen Dalton, whom we love, who gives casts shade to the New South Wales government and Barilaro. Clubs New South Wales might be after me because I support gambling reform, but as we dig around, more and more figures come to light. The scrounge of gambling across society is simply horrifying. So if you remember, Friendly Daughters was involved in an investigation involving Clubs New South Wales. He since has had his house firebombed and is taking some time off YouTube to just wait for things to settle down. Well, that's a good point, Christine. And so there's this investigation now into Clubs New South Wales, and everything that Friendly Daughters has said, well, these whistleblowers said, is all coming out now, and there's a big investigation going on, and they're not very happy about it. I'd love to hashtag Friendly Daughters was right at some point in time. But I send my well wishes to Friendly Daughters and his family as far as the firebombing goes. The other interesting thing is there's more coming to light about the Queensland tragedy. And it's just I'm just getting texts from the hospital. I mean, I'm just getting if you've had COVID or been around COVID. No, I haven't. I just had to do a rat test. I had to do a test this morning. I'm still yet. They've said that the alleged perpetrator of that shooting, that the teacher that was a missing person, was in fact a conspiracy theorist. He believed that what was it? Martin Bryant was set up from the Tasmanian shooting. Port Arthur, he believed that Port Arthur was a setup. He was a conspiracy theorist. So there's more and more coming to light to that. Yeah, that's terrible. And they were young. I mean, look, it's horrible when any police officer loses their life in the line of duty. But they were young, and I guess I mean, for me, I've got some questions. I mean, they sent 4 people to a property for a missing persons case. 4 officers, and they were young, and they were from 2 different stations. So they may have thought that there was something going on. Do they know why this happened? No, I don't know that they know why it happened, Terry. Your husband tested positive this morning. I'm a bit annoyed at our government because they're taking away PCR testing now. You're going to have to pay for it unless you go to see a GP. But the cases are really high at the moment, but everyone is just pretending like COVID doesn't exist anymore. And I think New South Wales had 40,000 cases the other day, and they've taken away all support systems in place. They've taken away everything to do with COVID because apparently, you know, we've got to live with it. But businesses are still struggling because people are getting sick. And people are passing it on because they're having to work. I just think it's foolish. I don't know what the solution is, but I think that to pretend the virus doesn't exist. And it's interesting because I saw something from the health department the other day to say wear a mask if you're in a crowded space, but they're not putting that publicly, privately. It was just an ad about how to keep safe this summer. Was the ad from the Victorian Health Department, and they're saying wear a mask if you can't socially distance, and it's like, well, gee, you're letting that one fly under the radar. So I'm not very happy. So yeah, if you could smash that like button, that would be good. Look, I don't know how much longer I can be on. I'm waiting for a ride to be picked up. So yeah. So look, if it goes to plan, I'll be out Saturday. But look, I'll keep you all posted. I'm expecting to be out Saturday. Oh, you know, who knows? But I just find a hospital. It says, you know, one cabin bag, no more than 8 kilos. I've got 2 bags. You should have got my 4 3 weeks ago. He should have got my wow. Yeah. It's interesting because my sister and brother-in-law and niece went to Disneyland, and they spent 3 weeks, November, December, and they were there a week, and my brother-in-law got COVID. Then my sister got COVID, and then they came back, and my niece got COVID. They reckon they got it on the plane. So that's where they reckon they got it. And it's interesting because my brother-in-law is a nurse, works in the COVID ward, and didn't get COVID. Didn't get COVID at work, where you would think he would get COVID. He got it on the plane. So, of course, I said, well, you didn't wear a mask, did you? Not that I think the mask would have helped, but, you know, it is spreading a lot on the plane. Yeah, I just don't know what the solutions are, but, you know, I know that it's a concern. So, hello, Vidandra. How are you? I don't know whether anyone's kept up with Michelle MGL. Michelle Goes Live. Gee, did she go off the rails? I noticed that she deleted her cry fest the other day, where she was talking about how hard her life was. Again, there was so much. When I look at Michelle and when I look at her go live, I just see that she's a Katie Joy version 2. And you can sort of pick the spiral. So as I said, we've got the bullying now, the bullying and harassment narrative now from KJ. And it's really scary and really bizarre, that you can pick what part of the roller coaster they're gonna hit. Oh dear. And then there's this ski mask guy that she was, she's saying to and was really happy. And I don't know. I have a feeling that they're on some type of game to try and get some money. Because one day they break up, the next day one day they hate each other, the next day they're friends, and they hate each other, then they're friends. But look, I'm having to sit quietly and rest at the moment, so I'm just living for all of that at the moment. um, whenever Michelle needs money, she talks about how she's got to cook or feed her dogs or pay her bills, and she's got this Airbnb, etc., etc., etc. And yeah, it's you know, anyone else followed that? Has anyone else had that or seen that, or are you just all fed up with it and you can't be bothered with it? If you can't be bothered with it, I can be really petty at times too. So as I said, I'm living for that drama at the moment. I don't really have much happening in my life. Everything's see, normally I would be smack bang in the middle of I'd be starting the caroling, and I'm not going to be able to do any of that. So I've got lots of time on my hands. So I should be able to knock off 2 assignments hopefully in my recovery. So doctor reckons I'll be driving by Christmas, he reckons. We'll see. You can't watch her, Christine? The voice is very annoying. The voice is very, very annoying. I have to say, the voice, I can't handle the voice. I can only deal with it in short spaces. I found the click channels are the best way to watch her. If you really, I see what you can't. And there is, there's a few. There's a few. And it's good, as I said, it's good for a laugh. I think so anyway. But then there's again, I'm a little bit petty. So, and how did KJ get 305,000 subscribers? Out of interest. And Michelle's got like over 5,000. Right? How do these people get these um, get these subscribers? That's what I want to know, because I cannot. I don't subscribe to either of them. Oh, the other thing I wanted to let you know was Melissa Caddick had all her stuff sold, and I believe that Melissa Caddick's, they had her auction the other day. I was reading it. There's been, as I said, there's so much going on. Hate watch. Oh, probably they are all hate watchers. Yeah. And Christian Dior has been told they've got to hand over their money. That's $1 million question. Says so. Christian Dior had some money that they found that Melissa Caddick had put on into a fund, had put on file, and they filed court documents that says they're given a fortnight to hand over Melissa Caddick's money. Now they has failed in court. They wanted to keep all the dealings confidential. Christian Dior has failed in court to keep confidential its dealings with missing fraudster Melissa Caddick, including how much of her money the luxury fashion house has been holding onto since she vanished 2 years ago. Dior has been given a fortnight to hand over the money in order to provide receivers with a decade worth of financial dealings with Caddick. So last month, the Herald revealed a Christian Dior whistleblower had informed the receivers of Caddick's estate that the fashion house had been holding several hundred thousands of dollars the fraudster had deposited with them. Federal Court Justice Bridget Markovic said on Monday she had struggled to find anything confidential in the affidavit Christian Dior's lawyers filed with the court but claimed should remain secret. Dior's barrister, Ben Kadatai, had argued the fashion house relied on confidentiality and the brand might suffer if clients' privacy was not respected. However, the judge noted that the information required was only about one customer and it was no secret the Caddick was a client. That's a bit of shade there. So this is saying a limited edition Dior handbag purchased with stolen funds by the Melissa Caddick sold at auction for $7,364. The judge also rejected Dior's attempt to keep confidential the amount of money and how it was received by the fashion house. The amount can't be confidential. It's not your client's money, said Justice Markovic, who added that Caddick's creditors deserve to know how much money was being held. It's no more secret than the amount her jewelry may have sold for. So this was a reference to last week's auction of Caddick's jewelry, which realised $884,618, including a 25% buyer's premium. Caddick used $1.8 million of stolen funds to acquire more than 50 pieces of jewelry designed by Stefan Canturi, which were auctioned. So they've got 80. So they got some money back. The court had previously heard that over an 8-year period, Melissa Caddick stole $23 million from her clients. So then they're going back to that part. That's the brother. Adam Grimley now has now abandoned claims over the estate. But Coletti, the husband, is still trying to get her super. So there's still a fight over the Edgecliff property, over which her parents have staked a claim in, and that's back in court on the 19th of April. So let's have a look at this link. Let's look at this auction. Because I saw this, and I saw that it had quite a few stuff. So mink coats, handbags, rare Burmese pythons, and necklaces were among the 100 high-end possessions. The frenzied bidding, mostly online and by telephone, for the 54 pieces that were auctioned by Smith and Singer on Wednesday night. People are going nuts, whispered one of the 10 staff handling the phones and computers. The one exception was a diamond sapphire ring, which Caddick bought for herself the week before her wedding to second husband Anthony Coletti. It cost $39,200. It struggled to make $7,000. So some of the items. So this Stella necklace sold for $130,000. However, there was spirited bidding for $156,000. The most famous of Caddick's bling, the Stella 18-karat gold necklace with 13 black sapphires surrounded by diamonds, which sold for $130,000. Caddick paid $370,000 for it in 2015. The matching ring sold for $14,000. She bought it for $17,500, and the Stella earrings sold for $7,500. The necklace features in the famous photo of Caddick, who wore the that dress. So another big seller was the diamond aquamarine and sapphire necklace, which sold for $100,000. Attracting the strangest bid of the night was the matching ring, for which Caddick paid $15,000. the opening and only bid from an internet purchase who paid $8,500, despite the ring being listed between $3,000 and $5,000. Thank you, Bella. Yes, Christine, she did like the finer things in life. Hey, I guess when it's not your money, you can. The ball gown, which Caddick bought for more than $14,000, sold for $1,000. The 12 handbags, which sold for almost $35,000, almost tripled the estimate prices. The highest, so this was the highest bag. The white fur sold for, so it retailed in 2019 for $11,000. It was sold for $7,364. An iridescent Burmese python bag by Chanel sold for $4,400. There was a bidding war with 23 bids for Christian Dior black wool and silk dress with a V-line and pleated skirt, which sold for $3,800. 2 identical Balmain style jackets and loosened pearl strings, $1,100 for the navy version, while her trademark fire engine red jacket fetched $1,500. A dyed green J mink jacket sold for $1,700, while Christian Louboutin shoes with Caddick star sign Taurus embroidered on them sold for $460. So it looks like you could have got some bargains. 2 items were late withdrawals from the auction after Caddick's lawyers lodged an objection to the sale. So it was the 9.4 carat white gold diamond and sapphire men's ring and a watch. They were very pleased and thrilled about the results. So they were the shoes that sold for $450. They reckon it was the Canturi name that got it. So with the $48,000, they got $48,000 on the artwork. There's $850,000. So there's nearly $1 million just in that. There was the 2 cars. They got about $1 million. So the house sold for 10. So I think we're about up to $15 million. So they're clawing back some of the money slowly. But she did like the finer things in life. That's for sure. That's what I will say to you. She did really like the finer things in life. So, all right, well, I'm going to head off now. Thank you all for watching and being here. I will try and keep you updated with events. And look, I don't know when I'll be back, but I'll try and post some videos over the next couple of days. But yeah, thank you for joining me. If you could hit the like button, if you haven't subscribed, subscribe. Ring the bell if you want to keep up to date with anything that I list. I know this has been all over. This has got a bit of everything in it. But look, I thank you. Thank you for all your support. Thank you for all your wishes. And I will catch you again next time.